Bob Pockers, Fox Sports. Have you watched the finish from last week, or can you not bear to watch it yet?
Yeah, I've watched it. I've watched it plenty. I've replayed it in my head no less than 100 times, and that's probably pretty conservative. So, yeah, I've got a list of things I would do different going back, and just need to be in that situation again. So, taking a lot of good things out of it, a couple of bad, but ultimately what I look at is that is the most competitive mile and a half that we've had ever in my career with RFK is for sure as well. That was a better weekend than we had at Michigan when we won, and I take that as the highlight of how it all went down, and kind of gets you through some of the bitterness of it as well. So what we're talking about is how do we make that our kind of our baseline for mile and a half. See what we're able to transfer here to Darlington. Obviously they're not the same racetrack whatsoever, but you still feel like we have things that we can apply. So we're all doing our best to try and laugh about it after the race, and hung out, actually stayed and watched cars go through tech to make sure we were good and the 5 was good, obviously. Just trying to let it all unfold and take a breather, and our whole team stayed and was standing around the truck just trying to ultimately have some peace in the fact that we had a great day, and try and laugh about the situation, knowing that it was going to be a tough one for really for the rest of every one of our careers.
And are you good with the way NASCAR, decides the finish with the cameras and everything?
I've certainly learned a lot, and some things that I did not know about. We've had a couple of ways to laugh about. Obviously, the wavy line across the finish line has been fun to pick at, but ultimately, I understand that's not what we go by. It's transponder loops or camera, I guess. That's some of the things that I've learned is knowing that we use a camera system ultimately versus transponder loops. I guess we've been not in such a grand fashion, but a part of some of these races that have ended under yellow all of a sudden, and we've been chasing loops and cameras and never really understood how we ended up where we did on a couple of races the last couple of years, and I think we have a better understanding now. So yeah, all good at the end of the day, and ready to make the next one easier to talk about as a win, and not have to pull up that camera footage again.
Also, going back to the finish last week, when Chris made his move into 3 that allowed you to have the outside, did you feel like at that point, okay, this is perfect because now I'm going to win it because I'm on the outside like that? Or even if he'd gone the outside, I guess you could have gone down and done a slide job type of thing. I mean, how did that change how you looked at it when he took I guess essentially the middle, and how you feel like opened it up, or you were like, I'm going to go here anyway?
I was planned going to the outside no matter what. I honestly thought that like he would just run, low and fast, kind of run the shorter distance. So when he kind of ran the middle, I was like, oh yeah, like, wow, here we go. But it wasn't until I got exited off of the corner, like to the straightaway, that I thought, oh, we still have a shot here. Like I still thought that, like when I initially got there, I thought he was going to throttle up and kind of like not move me up, just like I wasn't quite there enough. I thought, it's weird. Like when you watch a replay, it looks different than what like you see in the helmet. So I remember like when I kind of like throttled up to try to get to his quarter, I thought that he was going to be able to throttle up and like just clear in front of me, and then I would get aero tight. But when I stayed there, I still was like, all right, now I'm crashing because I'm just in a awkward spot here with aero and the way that turn 4 kind of sharpens up on exit. I just thought I was going to run out of space. Not even like him doing anything dirty or egregious or anything like that, but he he left me, enough room and all that. And yeah, we got off the corner, and then it was just about like how the run was going to work out. And thankfully it barely worked out.
One other thing is a lot of times you guys get more credit than maybe you deserve at times, and sometimes you get more of the blame than you deserve at times. I mean, this is still a team sport. When you're in a situation like that, and obviously for Chris, it's easy to say he lost it, and there's always this. You guys always have to look at yourselves each week, or the team's looking at things. How tough of a situation is it, even with all the self-critical thinking you have to have, if you feel like you've lost it, and how do you get through something like that? And what would be a case where it lingered for you?
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely lost plenty of races, late in the going. I feel like then I've won. So yeah, it's tough, you especially in a finish like that. You think about it a lot. You overthink it. You think there's many different ways you can think about running the last lap to have a different result where you win. And I think you just have to kind of process all those different scenarios in your head and log it, and then try to just be better for the next time a situation, if it ever happens, occurs like that. So, and then you got to just try to move on from it, which is difficult, but the best way to move on from things is just to get back behind the wheel. So that's what's always been good for me. When I've had tough races or good races, I've always, seems like I've got a race, a day or two later. So I don't kind of ride that wave too much, or the wave is quicker, I guess, which kind of steadies me out maybe a little bit. But yeah, it's tough. Losing like that is very difficult. But he seems like a very kind of even keel guy that probably doesn't let it linger too long.